You used to have a pretty cool mustache, but you shaved it. You didn't tell your business partner.
I shaved my mustache this morning. I had a Christmas stash. You can follow me on Instagram to see the stash at Mickey Jordo. That's my Instagram handle.
See, I thought we were going to go into the Chase Bank tomorrow and open up a business checking account, and we were both going to have these awesome stashes. Now, I'm just going to look like the weird one with a mustache.
No, man, mustache is your thing. Long hair is mine. You can't have too many things going on.
So, Jordan, what are we talking about today? And what is today?
Today is December 26th, the day after Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. By the time you watch this, though, it will have been, I don't know when this is going to get posted, but it won't be the day after Christmas.
Yeah, no.
It'll at least be 2 days after Christmas.
Probably 2 days after Christmas.
Which in that case, Happy New Year's coming up to you.
Yes, Happy New Year's. So Jordan expressed to me over and over again when I tried to get him to get on a video with me today that he was a little too tired. And that he was going to be boring. So if you can tell it's not the same Mickey Jordo that you've seen, that you know and love before, cut him some slack. We're using different equipment today. It's the day after Christmas. Jordan just had a stressful couple days, and he's a little bit of a beaten down man right now.
Even Mickey Jordo needs a break sometimes. That's just how it is. Everybody needs a break.
It happens.
But today we are talking about one thing, and we are answering the question: when is it time to give up, or when is it time to close up shop? This is a question everybody with a business doesn't want to think about, but if you're in the position where business is bad or things aren't going as well as you'd hoped, but you've already poured in all this money, when is it the right time to close up shop and or give up on the dreams that you've had for X amount of time?
How do you know when to quit? That's kind of what it boils down to, right?
Yep.
How do you know when to give up?
Yep. How do you know when to give up?
Well, I can say from our experience, we've literally had the conversation, is it time to close up shop, at least 5 times.
Yeah, we have.
At least 5 times. When was the most recent time?
The most recent time was when we decided that our other owner, Cole, was no longer going to be the guy in the garage because he's been burned out, and I would be burned out if I was doing it too. And rather than put in the work to find somebody that's as good as an owner and the guy we trust, it seemed like a logical time to just, if Cole doesn't want to do this, we're all kind of burned out. Let's just close up shop. Winter's coming up.
Yeah.
People aren't going to miss us that much.
Yeah.
It was logical. It seemed like a logical time to close up shop.
Yeah.
That was the most recent time, I'd say.
Why did we not? Habit,
man. Inertia. It's easier to keep going than it is to give up. That's what I really think it comes down to.
Yeah, it makes it harder to quit when the phone keeps ringing.
It does.
Even if it's not ringing as much, every time you have that experience with a customer and somebody's still buying, it's hard as a creator and as an entrepreneur to walk away. But we're talking about, surely it's not as simple as just because you still have business, it's always right to keep going, right?
Correct.
So how do we know when to close up? How do we know when to stop?
Man, well, first I'll answer by saying this. I do believe that anything you truly want, you can truly have.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
So, us with our garage cleaning business, we physically could take it as far as we wanted to take it if we were really willing to do whatever it took to get there. And that pertains to anybody in any business. The question is, can we get to the success that we dream of and that we want without, are we actually willing to do what it takes? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
We could grow our company Periwinkle into as big as we want it. And we say we'll do whatever it takes, but when push comes to shove, every step that we cross, we have to decide. We come to a crossroads. Is this something I'm willing to sacrifice to grow the company, or am I willing to try another route and see if there's a compromise I can do here?
Yeah.
That's really all it comes down to, I think.
So what you're talking about is opportunity cost.
Yes.
Right? Which I think is the answer here.
Yeah.
I think the answer to our question is as simple as the 2 words, opportunity cost. What are you sacrificing not doing in order to continue doing your current business? you know?
Yeah.
So the question in my mind is always, and it's not that I don't love our business or what we do, but it's always like a voice in the back of my head that says, Seth, what else could you be working on? What could you have started if you hadn't started Periwinkle?
Yeah.
You know, like could you have a bigger payoff, future potential payoff coming down the line? Could you have started something that more aligns with your natural skill set?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the question is like, if you're right now, you've started your own business, you're running it, maybe you're doing video production, you know, you're doing like, you own your job and you're doing video production. That's okay. It's a route to being a business owner. Maybe you opened up a coffee shop in your parents' basement or something, whatever you're doing. The question is that your only idea and is that the only thing you're working on? Or do you have something ready to go that you feel like is going to be a better future play for you?
Yeah.
So I think that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you might as well keep doing what you're doing if you've already got a business going. But if you have another business you'd rather run, then that's when it comes to the decision of like, should I shut down this business A in order to start working on business B? Because the more books I read, the more they say, the more you try to do, the less you're going to have at the end. You just can't give a business enough time, all the time that it needs to be successful if you're focusing on 4 or 3, not just 1.
Yep.
Hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is. And that's a tough decision to make. And I think it's also very dangerous to be in the mindset of, well, this business is growing, I could stop because I really want to work on this. Because no matter what you do, you will always have those shiny objects flying around your head. And it's tempting because all of the possibility of what it could be is so much more expansive than what your current situation. Because now your business that you've been working on, you've kind of narrowed the path of where it's headed. But these new ideas, like there's no telling where I could end up with this, who I could end up partnering with, how much money I can make. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's a flashy, shiny thing that really is tempting. But it really comes down to, like you said, opportunity cost. How far are you really willing to take it? But to answer the question, when is it time to close up shop and give up? I really think the time is when you decide to. I don't think there's any bad time, good time, wrong time, right time. I think when you decide that it's time to give up or time to close up shop, that was the perfect time to do it. Because until then, you could have always made it work or failed. It just, your choices and how far you're willing to take it was the only factor, the only variable that was worth considering.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick.
Okay.
And say that, not contrary to what you're saying, but contrary to the argument of if you have opportunity cost working in your favor, meaning you have business B ready to go that's going to be a higher payoff one day and you're thinking about jumping ship, devil's advocate says stay. And here's why you should consider staying in it, even if you feel like you might want to quit and you might want to call it a day and try something else. Persistence. Every single person you ever read about that's a successful entrepreneur, whether it be Sarah Blakely or any of the other super famous entrepreneurs that really took an innovative product and made it, they will all tell you one word, if you boil it all down, persistence. And I think that is the biggest differentiator between the people that, because I think about it like this year in our state, 1,000 people in Oklahoma are going to start a business. That's probably even too low. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's 10,000 are going to start a business.
I don't know.
After a year, I bet, the numbers? Half are still around. So you got 5,000 are still around. In 5 years, 90% are going to be gone. So you're now down to 1,000 businesses that you're competing against. And they're not all playing in your sandbox. They're in different industries. So my point being, the longer you're willing to stick it out, the easier it's going to get for you in a lot of ways, especially in competition, because you're going to have you'll now be the old guy on the block. You'll have the most experience, and it's the persistent people that win the battle. Mm-hmm. We already are seeing that every year that goes by. People already know our company. People already know what we do. People are referring us to other people. Mm-hmm. It's the snowball effect, and you lose the snowball effect if you quit and try to start something else.
Yeah. My advice is don't give up. Don't close up shop. if you want to make something work, and I mean like truly want to make something work, I believe that you can, but you have to be willing to do what it takes to make it work. And if you're not, then you truly don't want what you say you want.
True.
Is really what it comes down to.
True.
You know, here's an example. Periwinkle. We could be a lot further along right now than we are today if Seth and I both quit our jobs and we just full on did Periwinkle full time. But we have not made that decision to do that yet. And if we fail because we're unwilling to do that, then it doesn't mean that our business idea failed. It means we didn't actually want what we said we wanted. It means that our goal in growing Periwinkle required too much of us than we were actually willing to give.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. How much of yourself are you actually willing to give to yourself to see this thing through?
Yeah, so it's not so much, what you're saying, it's not even so much about the idea necessarily, it's about how your implementation strategy, your execution. I think that's the real magic of entrepreneurship is can you take an idea and execute it well? Yep,
the persistence, like you said. Persistence, having a great idea, and actually being able to do what you say you'll do. And I'm not sitting up here pointing down at you and talking at you. I'm talking with you. Like, we're in the same boat. We come across these decisions every day where we're like, man, I really don't want to do this, but it aligns with what I said that I wanted, which is for this company to grow. So now what do? Something's got to give. Either the company's going to die, or we have to do what we say we were going to do. You know?
We are well out of the honeymoon stage.
Yes,
that's the thing. And genetically, like, my dad is a serial entrepreneur. He's got a new idea every day. He started like 8 or 10 businesses in his life. I got the same gene. You're a creator as well. I know you come up with all of our ideas, so I know you have ideas all the time. So we're both fighting this battle of like, ignore the shiny object and stay focused, because at least half of our competitors are going to chase the shiny object, leave our space, and that's more market for us.
Yeah.
It's the persistence that wins, and that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest. It's like, it's never if it seems too complicated, it's not the right answer, you know? So it really is the simple things. Like being persistent. Sometimes that's just the answer.
So, maybe that's just the answer. But persistence is the key, guys. Always will be with entrepreneurship.
But to bring it full circle, your answer, I think you hit the nail on the head. When do you know when it's time to quit?
Yeah, I don't think you should. I think that's when you know it's time. But when you do, that was the right time. When you do give up, because you made the decision and now your focus can go elsewhere. But it's that simple, people.
All right.
That's all we have for you.
Until next time.
Catch
you on the flip side.